Today we're going to read a story out of the Adventures of Rooney Cruise. And the name of the story is Esther, the Belle of Patience. It's written by Aaron Wiedemann and illustrated by Rob Corley and Chuck Bulmer. Esther, the Belle of Patience. So we're going to learn. Welcome, little Belle. Your superhero journey begins right now. Right now we're going to start reading. Pass it. Hey, I'm open. Hello. Rooney watched as her teammates from the sidelines. She liked Saturday soccer games, even though she didn't get to play very often. It was still fun to wear that icy blue uniform and be outside in the warm, shining sun. Please, God, help us do our best today, and it would be really awesome if anyone other than Amanda got to touch the ball. So it looks like Amanda is always hogging the ball or getting a hold of the ball. Suddenly, a fast-moving blur whipped past the bench. It was Amanda. The other girls on the field called for the ball, but Amanda either couldn't hear them or wasn't listening. With her head down, she dipped and she ducked between the girls in red on her way to score another goal. So she was really at it, wasn't she? See how they're all lined up over there? Rooney turned to her friend Daniela. How many is that today? Danny shrugged. Man, I don't know. I lost count. Rooney shook her head. Every time Amanda got the ball, she would race down to the other side and try to score. Nobody else had a chance to do anything to help. I've tried to talk to her a few times, Danny said. She's a great player, but it's like all she cares about is herself. Maybe the coach can do something, Rooney said, as she watched him on the sidelines. Hey, coach, Amanda, Rooney started to say, but she didn't finish the sentence. Hang on, Danny quickly grabbed the back of Rooney's shirt. I'm not sure now is a good time, but I get it. It'll be great if she actually lets one of us play too. Yeah, that would be great, wouldn't it? Rooney whirled around. She knew that voice anywhere. Mari, hey, you're at my game. That's so cool. Mari laughed as she fluttered her wings wildly. Rooney, I always watch your games. Personal angel. Hello. Rooney giggled. Oh, yeah. Just then the whistle blew. Ugh, that's it. Rooney and Danny looked at each other. It's over. The referee waved and the teams cleared the field. The girls turned around to find their water bottles. Mari zipped into the side pocket of Rooney's soccer bag. Ladies, Rooney heard her coach's strong voice. Pack it up and let's meet in our usual spot. Mari poked her angel head out of the side of Rooney's zipper pocket. I'm going to hang around for a minute. I'd like to sit in on this one. So she was going to sit around and see what the coach had to say. The girls walked over to the usual shady spot and sat down together in the grass, except for Amanda. Ladies, another great win today, you all. Thanks, Coach, Amanda interrupted. She turned to the team. Another great game. I know I'll make all stars for sure. Then she knelt down and whispered in the ear of another girl. Did he hear that? Rooney looked up. Her coach had turned and was talking to a parent. Ugh, of course not. Rooney could feel hot bubbles start to burn inside her stomach. She and Danny locked eyes. Who does she think she is? Rooney's hand shot up. Hey, Coach, you know what? I'm sick of... So there is Amanda in the back there. And here is Rooney. All right, girls, Coach turned back to the team. Great job today, and we'll see you at practice. Bring it in for a cheer. Rooney gritted her teeth as she and the other girls huddled up, put their hands in, and muttered a weak kangaroos before heading off toward their families. Mari jabbed Rooney with her little elbow. Hey, are you up for another adventure? Right now? Yeah. Enough is enough. It's time for a sneak peek at another Bible Belle. You've got to see Esther in action. Action? Yeah, action, like in the movies. Esther was kind of like a movie star. In fact, Mari said as she wiggled in the air. Her name means star. Okay, Rooney smiled. So Esther's name means star. Let's do this. Mari held out her hand. Can I borrow your water bottle? Sure. Rooney grabbed the bottle and handed it to Mari. She popped off the cap and balanced it on her tiny finger. The cap jumped and then it began to spin, round and round until, boom, it shot straight up and exploded to reveal a wide wooden window. Amazing! Rooney climbed up into the corner and peered down at the scene below. There she is. She's up by the window. The beautiful palace was alive with music and dancing. Rooney could see a man with a crown on his head sitting on the throne, but he did not look happy. What do you mean the queen isn't coming? Rooney heard the king, his voice sizzling with anger. Where is the queen? Where is the queen? Rooney asked. Shouldn't she be at the king's party? Sure, Mari whispered, but she decided she didn't want to go. Fine, said the king, looking furious. If she wants to be like that, then she is no longer the queen. Wow, Rooney murmured softly. She just got fired. Yep, she sure did, said Mari. She bumped in the window. So here's the king, and he's really mad. And here's different people in his kingdom, and they're eating and drinking. It bounced, and Rooney saw two people walking slowly toward the enormous gates of the palace. Wait, said Rooney. Is that Esther? She does kind of remind me of a movie star, Mari. Is she the new queen? Mari nodded. Her cousin Mordecai is taking her inside. She was chosen out of thousands of others to be the queen, and Mari giggled. You're about to find out why. I love you, my cousin, Rooney heard Esther say. Thank you for being with me. Don't worry, my dear, Mordecai hugged her. No matter where you are loved and protected. So she didn't have to worry about that she would be lonely. Rooney put her head down. God, please be with Esther. She probably doesn't know anyone in there, and she might be scared. Please keep her safe. Hey, Mari, Rooney whispered. When we went to see Hannah, you said all the Bible Bells have superpowers. What's Esther's? Mari grinned. You'll have to wait to find out. Mari clapped and the window revealed a new scene. Let's see what is on now. So she's praying over here. She's talking to God. Crowds of people were crunched low as a man walked through the king's gate. But Esther's cousin Mordecai was on his feet. Who's that? Rooney asked. That's Haman, Mari explained. He's the king's second in command. Why would I bow to Haman? Rooney heard Mordecai say to himself. I do not worship him, so I will not bow to this man. Rooney looked at Mari. I have a bad feeling about this. Haman flew into a rage, looked at Mordecai. If he will not bow to me, he is my enemy. I will have the king write a royal decree to destroy him and all of his people. No, Rooney tried to jump through the window, but before she could, the scene was gone. So here's all these people bowing to Haman. Here is Mordecai. See, he's not bowing down. Now Rooney could see Mordecai. He was crying. He had ripped his clothes, and Esther was trying to comfort him. Esther, please, Mordecai begged. We're in trouble, all of us, even you. You have to talk to the king. You have to tell him to save our people. How? Esther asked. How can I talk to him? I'm not allowed to go see the king unless he calls for me. If I try to speak to him without being summoned, it might make him angry. I'm not even sure what to say. So here they are, watching Mordecai and Esther talking to one another. And let's see what they have to say now. We got a right page. If you don't do this, Mordecai lowered his voice, our people will surely be saved another way, but you and your family may not survive. Mordecai kneeled down next to his cousin. Who knows, he whispers, maybe this is exactly why you were chosen to be the queen. It's the perfect time for you to be here. I think you are the one who is supposed to do this. Esther stood up. All right, I will go and talk to the king, but I have to make sure I do it at the right time. So now she was going to go and talk to the king, or find out if she could come and have a meeting with him. Rooney was confused. How is she supposed to know when it's the right time to talk to the king? Well, Esther knows what she needs to do, Mari explained. But she decides to pray about it, what she's going to say, and when she should approach the king. She does this for 3 days. So she decides to pray first. And then she is planning to approach the king. She waits 3 days. That must have seemed like forever. Mari nodded in agreement. On the 3rd day, she asked the king to come to a feast that she prepared. Let's take a look. Well, it doesn't have anything, does it? Rooney peered down through the window again. She could see Esther standing before the king. Haman was there too. Mari, Rooney cried, what's happening? Why is Haman at Esther's feast? It's okay, Rooney, Mari said. Esther invited him too. Queen Esther, the king gently held the queen's hand. What is your request? I'll give you everything or anything, even up to half my kingdom. Now he was really going to be gracious to her and give her half of his kingdom. You think that would have been possible, huh? Let's find out here if we can. My king, I hope you are pleased with me and that you would grant my request. Would you and Haman come to another feast tomorrow? Not today, tomorrow. Then I will say what I have to say. Rooney was confused. Why doesn't she just ask him now? Well, she's waiting, Mari smiled. Maybe she knows something that we don't know. Look at the guards over here, and Haman right there, and the king right there. The window shook, and suddenly Rooney saw Esther, the king, and Haman at the second feast. Rooney saw Esther close her eyes and bow her head. I know now that this is the right time, Rooney heard Esther whispering to herself. Esther lifted her head and turned toward the king. My king, I hope that I have found favor with you. This is what I need to ask of you. My people are in danger. Haman has deceived you, and you have written a decree to kill all of us, including me. I cannot be silent. I must ask you to save us. The king was furious. Haman, what have you done? You are terrible. You are a terrible enemy to me and my queen. Esther, I will save you and your people from this man's evil plan. Now he's going to try and save Esther and her people from being killed. Yes, Rooney jumped into the air. She did it. I know, Mari said. Esther saved her people because she was patient. She waited and listened for God's voice to guide her until it was the right time for her to speak up. Wow! Just then, Rooney felt a warm wave come over her. Mari, I know I can talk to God and that He will always hear me. I've tried talking to my coach about the problem with Amanda, but I see now that it wasn't the right time. Will God help me be patient like He helped Esther? Mari smiled. Yes, He will. Listen, I know you're upset about what's going on. Talking to an adult can be a little scary sometimes, but something is wrong and the team needs your help. Pray about it first, then let God speak to you. But Mari, how will I know what to do? Remember, Mari patted Rooney's hand. Esther prepared for what she had to do. She spent time praying and listening for God's voice. She waited patiently, just for the right moment. You can do it too. I know you can. Okay, Mari, I'll give it a try. So she's helping Rooney be patient. Rooney sat down gently and bowed her head. Dear God, I know I need to talk to my coach. Even though I'm scared, I trust that you're guiding me and I know you will protect me. Please talk to me. I'm listening for you. Tell me the words you want me to say. Please help me be brave. I want to be respectful and kind to my coach. Please help me know the right time to talk to him. I want to show him I care about all of my teammates, even Amanda. Rooney looked across the field. She saw her coach sitting under a tree, alone, writing something on his clipboard. Mari, Rooney said, I think now might be a good time. You got this. Rooney walked toward her coach, praying all the way. So there's her coach sitting on After several minutes, Rooney came back over to Maury. "So," Maury said gently, "how did it go?" "Well, I told him that I love being on the team, and then I'm feeling a little sad about how some of the things Amanda said earlier. I want us all to work together and to be kind to each other, so I asked him if he could help us do that a little better." "See," Maury nudged her, grinning. "You did it. It wasn't so hard. Remember, God is always with you, and he will always help you. He can hear your voice, and you can hear his voice too. All you have to do is pray and listen for him. He will tell you what to do and when to do it. Just stay faithful and be ready for him to lead you." Way to wait. That's called a way to wait. You know what happens now? Maury spun her head around and a bright shining bell appeared. The bell glowed brightly, reflecting the light from the afternoon sun. "Whoa, wow." Maury held out her hands. "Rooney, this is a bell of patience. It will help you remember the power you have to wait and trust God's timing. He promises that he will give you the direction you need. Keep listening for him. Wait faithfully and he will guide you." So she's going to get a bell. Rooney jumped up. "2 bells. Prayer and patience. I'm a real superhero, just like Hannah and Esther. I can't believe it. Thanks, Maury." "No problem." Maury winked. "Don't forget, the more you use your powers, the stronger they get." "I won't forget." Rooney smiled and tucked the shimmering bell inside her soccer bag. She ran over to Danny, her stomach dancing with tiny pings of excitement. She had a feeling that something big was about to happen because she had talked to the coach and had been careful how she talked to him. So God's word says, "I wait for the Lord, my whole being waits, and in his word I put my hope." So you hope in the Lord and wait for him to tell you when to do certain things. Psalms 135. That's the end of this story about patience, and I hope you enjoyed it. God bless.